Fishing with Johnny Johnson has been brought to you by Hatch Toyota, generations moving forward.
And then we were going along and, did you get
Got
him? All right. He's got one. Josh is a good one. Not a bad fish to start with right there. Josh has got one right here. Oh, I just got bit and I missed him. I was busy watching you, man. Look at that, we could have doubled right there. That was my fault.
It's another Saguaro clone.
Is it?
The good thing is the clones are about 2.5 pounders out here.
Look at that, good job. You are the man. Look at that.
Spawned out.
Folks, we're at Saguaro Lake today. I'm with my good buddy Josh Bertrand, and see, there you go. Does a lot of guiding on this lake, and I'll tell you what, with the Arizona Fishing Guides, and you know this lake pretty much better than anybody, so he's gonna put us on some fish today for sure, but we're actually, the lake has slowed down.
It has. It's post-spawn, so you know, I mean, we're just getting over that big spawn. I know you had a couple amazing days out here yourself during the spawn.
Matter of fact, right over here is where we caught that big fish. We're just right in that area where I caught the big fish earlier in the season, so yeah, awesome area.
Totally. This fish just pulled right out to here. I mean, we're out on this little point right now, and we're post-spawn. They're starting to feed up for the summer, so we're finally getting towards the better summer bite. But
I'll tell you what, I got to tell you something about old Josh here. He's awesome, awesome fisherman. Come a long ways in a short time for this young man. It's done with a lot of hard work, obviously. Sitting first place right now in the Bassmaster Central Division. We're gonna try to, I'm hoping you pull that thing off, man.
Well,
I'm excited. I'm really excited. He's got one more to go, but it's a blessing just to be able to have him on the boat with us, that's for sure, and be able to get you out here, because I know it's during your busy schedule trying to get everything loaded for bear for some of these tournaments and stuff, but we appreciate having you out here.
I appreciate it, yeah.
Showing some of these folks out here how to fish Saguaro Lake, and that's the plan today. Show you what it takes to do a little post-spawn fishing. I'm throwing a little fluke, and he's throwing the scrounger, believe it or not. Let's explain to folks at home what a scrounger is.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny, right, Johnny? Because we're throwing the same bait, but totally different styles, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
We both got soft jerk baits on. Yours is just rigged weedless on a 3/0 hook, right?
Exactly. And I'm twitching it like a jerk bait. So
yeah, and this one I've got on a little scrounger head. It's a jig head with a soft plastic bill. Lucky Strike makes this one. You know, as you twitch yours across, I'm just gonna reel this thing straight in, and it's almost like a little chatterbait or crankbait. You know, as you reel it in, it's got a little vibration. And
the cool thing about it is it's got the soft, because the hook is close to the bill, but the bill is so soft when the fish hits it, he just pulls down on that. It's almost like a little weed guard, but it's really cool.
It works out really well.
Didn't hamper you from catching that fish for sure.
It did not.
They're gonna move up. Now the thing is, this time of year is, it's good to get out early in the morning. Of course, late in the evening's usually good too, but right now you get up early in the morning before it gets real hot out here, because it's gonna be 100-degree day, right?
Yep.
And you get out here early, and the trick is early. I don't mean 8, 9 o'clock. We're talking, we got on this lake at 4:30 this morning getting ready for the sun just to barely start peeking up where we can start filming, and that's what we did. So you want to definitely get out here and try that. I don't have the scrounger tied on yet, but if you catch too many more on that, we'll have to switch, you know. But I'm gonna definitely try this a little bit. I had that bite right there while I was watching you. You about jerked the rod right out of my hand, and I didn't get him, but
yeah, double to start the morning would have been sweet. It's like a handful of them just blew up on the point, and then they we didn't see them blow up, but like they popped up and ate and then went back down.
And that's what you're gonna find this time of year too, is you're gonna start finding, post-spawn, they'll get out here, start chasing these shad early in the morning and late in the evening, and you'll see them blow up a little bit here and there. Not every fish you see blow up though is a bass. A lot of times it can be that occasional carp that comes up out of the water. After a while, you start learning the difference between whether it's the bass or the carp. A lot of times I'll watch for something to boil up in front of the bass or something, and the little shad or something like that. But a lot of times it's the tail flip.
Yep.
You can hear that tail flip. That's usually the carp, you know. But we'll see what we can't do. Josh has got us out here on this little flat, and it comes out to a point, and these fish are just kind of migrating out here, chasing these shad up on the, what would you call it, a little ledge or something right out here, right?
Yeah, just a big long point that's got a ledge off the end of it.
And they'll just roam around here. So we're just kind of fan casting around and kind of going in circles, believe it or not.
you know, we're seeing a couple of these birds as they come up, these little grebes, you know, they're swimming around eating shad, and I'm looking at the size of the shad they're eating, and they're tiny, they're really small, they're inch and a half, and I mean, they just spawned, so.
Sure.
You know, not only the bass spawn in the spring, but the shad do too. So we've got all these new shad, and it's important to kind of use a smaller bait when you see all those little shad around.
I make my living towing my boat from lake to lake, and I can tell you when it comes to quality, comfort, and reliability, the Toyota Tundra is the truck for me. And when you pair that up with the #1 Toyota Tundra dealer in Arizona, Hatch Toyota, you've got a winning combination. Stop by Hatch Toyota, take a test drive, and see for yourself why the Toyota Tundra is ranked #1 in my book. But be aware, you just might go home with the best truck you've ever owned. From Hatch Toyota, 1051 North Automall Parkway in Shola.
Oh man, that was one right there.
Yeah, that might have been a yellow bass.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I forgot about yellow bass being in here, huh?
Yeah, the way he kind of slapped, he looked like a yellow. But that's okay, you know, there's largemouth where you get those yellows. I can't tell you how many times I've been reeling in a little yellow or head clench reeling in a yellow and watch it get just demolished by a big bass, yeah.
You're kidding me.
Oh, it's probably 10 times.
Is that why you went to the swim baits? Seriously.
One of the reasons, I mean, yeah, I mean, when you see them attack something like
I've seen
that.
those big swim baits you're throwing.
No kidding.
Jeez, I mean, those things actually catch you fish, huh?
Oh, absolutely. There's another one right there. It's amazing, and I mean, oh, got him? Got it.
That's how it's done there, Joshy boy. Look at that.
He's bigger than
That's
I
what I'm
thought.
talking about. Right there, yeah, a little bit bigger fish. Yeah, you're right, it's a clone. Oh, that's fun.
You got right on him. Good job.
Yeah, we just moved right to the other point. Hey, you see those fish like that, bust up like that, you gotta get in there right away. Look at that. And he's a chunk. Well, he's still a pretty good fish on that fluke. You know, a lot of times what you do is you see these fish, what they'll do is you'll see them boil up if you can get your bait in there right away, because a lot of times what they'll do, these fish will go up and hit a shad, sometimes think that they killed it or whatever, and they'll turn right back around and look up real fast. And they'll go right back in the area. Did you get him?
Missed him.
They'll go right back in the area to check it out, you know what I mean? So if you get right back in there right away, you got it made.
You didn't hesitate at all. I mean, you were on that thing as soon as it popped.
Yeah, that's the way you want to do it, you know? He got it good, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I thought it was a little yellow bass. And that's 2 or 3 times today that I've hooked up or you've hooked up,
yes.
and then the other guy gets a bite right away. I mean, these.
What is? They're just schooling up.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
Chasing around.
Wolf packs and schools. You know, I mean, I don't think there's hundreds of fish in each school, but there's probably 10 to 20. You know.
Exactly. And one thing you'll notice too is a lot of times these bass, they school in sizes. I've noticed that. They'll wolf pack in the size. You'll hit a wolf pack, you might catch these little rats. You hit another wolf pack where there's a 2 or 3 pounder in there, and there's more 2 or 3 pounders in that same wolf pack.
No kidding.
And they hang around with size, with age groups.
Exactly.
You know?
If you reel one up and you got a bunch of 3 to 5 pounders following it, you got yourself a good spot. Okay, 24 foot right here. All these post-spawn fish just moving back and forth down this bank. There's one right there.
Got him?
Yep.
Well, that tells me right there I'm going to the jerkbait. Look at that. Son! Nice one. Josh moved on with a small jerkbait there. And you notice he went to the smaller one too. That's a smaller one. Yeah, trying to match the hatch. Good fish.
78.
Good fish. Huh?
It's that pointer 78.
That is nice. It's got a little bit bigger lip than what mine's got on it, the one that I had. That's a nice, I got the same color, just, yeah, that's a nice one there.
Little post-spawn fish.
Yeah, that'll work.
You can see his tail's all jacked up from making
spawn.
his bed. Yeah, kind of skinny. He's definitely spawned out.
Now here's the deal. We moved from a flat now, and we've actually came to an area that's got a pretty good drop off to it, but it's real rocky. And you can see how it's got the rocky pebble rock, what I call pebble rock, or, you know, I don't know, river rock type stuff. But this is perfect for jerk baits, you know. And That's what you're doing basically, is out there whacking them. Explain how you're working that jerk bait.
Yeah, it's really important. You know, the cadence that you put on a bait like this is where it's at. And you know, we're dealing with these post-spawn fish right now. They're starting to feed back up, but they're not the most aggressive. So,
did you get one?
You know what? That was bottom. That was a habitat. But you know, giving it a pause is the big key to this. What I like to do is when I'm twitching it, I'll have a little slack in my line and then I'll give it a twitch with my wrist, just like that. And what that does is it gives it a more erratic movement. If you give it a slower, longer pull like that, it would just track straight. But if you give it a sharp twitch on slack line,
it wants to turn.
It's gonna, exactly, it's almost gonna walk the dog underwater, and that's the big key. And then the other big thing is as you know, it's the length of the pause.
You betcha.
You know, the more active those fish are, the faster you want to work it. Like in the fall, I'll be working this thing real fast, just like this. This time of year, you know, I'll give it a twitch. I'll let it rest for 3 or 4 seconds. A couple more twitches, let it rest again. And typically that's going to be the best way to get bites right now.
My right hand was going numb on me all the time. I really thought this was career-ending for me. Then I found Dr. Michael Fitzmaurice. He looked at my hand, walked me through step-by-step of what was happening and what he needed to do. Minimal invasive hand surgery and instant relief. I was back to fishing in a week. Carpal tunnel and tennis elbow is no fun. I highly recommend Fitzmaurice Hand Institute. Call for your appointment today at Fitzmaurice Hand Institute. You don't have to live with the pain.
Call toll-free 855-480-HAND or visit fitzhand.com.
There's one right there.
Look, he's
right
got
at
it.
the
He's
boat,
got it figured out right there at the boat. Look at this.
I thought I had your line, and then I saw you
No,
out
I
of the
pulled
water.
up because I thought I was going to get your line, and then you caught my fish that was following my bait. Look at this.
He's barely hooked too.
Don't you lose him.
You got to keep that drag real loose.
Don't you
on
lose
these
him.
fish.
Nice fish, Joshy.
Not that big, but we'll take him. We're just talking about on these jerk baits. A lot of times you'll get these cookie cutter bass, lots of 2-pounders. But you know, we've caught some big ones over the years on this. Right now we're throwing a little Lucky Craft DD78 pointer.
That's a nice little fish. I mean, with as tough as the fishing is on this lake right now, that's good.
Yeah,
and I noticed that you paused it and he hit it.
That thing was sitting still for at least 5 seconds before he ate it.
Yeah, you had a...
And that's when they're always gonna hit it. You know, you're gonna be paused and you'll see your line swim away, or you'll actually feel it when you make your next twitch. It'll be like it's stuck. And that's the way they'll eat it. You typically won't feel them come up and crush it.
Now, see, the thing is we'll sit here and work a little bit more pause into the bait. And it suspends. These baits that we're throwing today, they'll suspend. You'll be twitching them down. Instead of floating straight up, they'll just, when you stop them, they'll just sit there. And then you twitch them again. So that's the cool thing about these kind of baits here.
Before we had suspending baits, there's all kinds of crazy ways that guys would make these things suspend. They were all floaters, so some guys would drill out little holes and then fill them with lead. They came out with suspend strips and suspend dots.
Strips was huge, man.
No
when
doubt.
I was younger.
You take their stickable soft lead and you just stick them to the belly of these baits. And there was one other one that you used for a while, right? Was it the putty stuff?
Yo, yeah, the sticky weight.
I remember the sticky weight.
Yeah, the sticky weight was good. He was out there a ways too. Did
Way
you notice
offshore, yeah. And actually that was the same cut. This is the second pass we made, and both of those 2 better fish came out of the same cut. There's another one.
What in the world, man?
This is a good one right here.
That's all you, son. That's all you.
Ah, he's not as big as I thought.
What are you doing different? What do you got going on here? Look at this. He puts me
That's
on
just
this
straight
bait. I ain't
luck.
kidding. You're starting to be like just like Scooter. Now,
Is that what
doggone
Scooter
it,
did to you?
Scooter put me on a different bait. I wasn't catching no fish. He says, "Oh, it's the same bait." And when he was doing that, I picked up his rod.
Oh.
First cast, bam!
That's the guide secret right there.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Our egos are too fragile. We can't be outfished.
That one got a little bit bigger on you.
A little bit. Boy, I thought he was real big when I first hooked him.
You caught him right in that little cut too. Did you notice that?
That's 3 out of that cut now.
That didn't take long at all. got himself a drop shot fish, folks. Josh has brought us to a nice long point here, and first cast catches a fish on a drop shot.
That was supposed to be a big one. We came out deep to catch a big one, and that's how we started, but we'll take them.
You got a good start on it right there. How long did it take you to find that color on this lake that you like so much?
Well, I always liked morning dawn out here, so when they came out with this other one, this plumberry, it
Figured you'd try something just a skosh different.
yeah, you know, I mean, those fish have probably seen a million
Morning dawn.
morning dawn worms over
That's why I ended up
years.
switching up, you know.
Yeah?
A lot of it, yeah, because that's all I was throwing was morning dawn with a chartreuse tip and in the spring. Did you get another one?
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess that's the morning dawn color, brother. Wow, look at that fish, son. All right. You know exactly where you're at, don't you?
Come on up, 6-pound line.
Oh, that's a good one, dude. 2.5 anyway, huh?
Turn around, buddy.
What do you think?
Yeah, he's 2.5, he might be 3.
Golly, look at that. Look at that fish. He's a hog.
Have you been injured in an accident? Call Suzuki Law Offices today for your free consultation and speak to me. Do not talk to the insurance company. The insurance company is not your friend. They're trying to work what's in their best interest. At Suzuki Law Offices, we're here to work for what's in our client's best interest. Call Suzuki Law Offices for your free consultation, and we will aggressively fight for you. We don't get paid until our clients get paid. Call Suzuki Law Offices and see the difference.
Are you kidding me? You're stealing my fish.
What's going on?
You know where to throw,
That's
brother.
a decent one, too.
Turkey. He's whacking me today. I guess I'm gonna have to pull out my secret weapon. That's awesome, Josh. I'm proud of you.
I owed you one, dude, after the day you came out here and caught 25 fish when I was out here and I caught 5 or 6.
Are you serious? I didn't remember that day.
That was that day this spring, man.
Oh, look at that.
It's big old spawned out.
That is a nice fish. Do you need help or are you good?
I'm just having a seat. Nice
I'm
and
just
easy.
having a seat.
Pretty comfy.
Take a snooze. I'm gonna catch this other fish that's out here.
Come on, man. This fish is just
You've got a lot of confidence on this point, I can tell already. The one thing I have noticed is your leader line is short, man. Look at that, that's a 3. Nice fish, brother. And that is why this young man is in first place in the Central Division, baby.
If I can get him
That
in the boat.
is a nice fish, dude. Do you need help or you got him?
We got him right here.
We don't have a net on the show because I don't like the drop shot getting in it.
Oh, I hear that.
That is a beautiful fish. And you set like there was no tomorrow. You had no problem setting the hook on that fish.
Had that drag reel loose, you know.
He's right there off that point. You threw to the right spot. I saw
Spawned
where you
out.
threw.
Get him.
Turkey.
Boy, that's the third one off that same spot, though. That's just one
I
little
see,
spot
I
that's
see it
got
right
him.
there. I see the little boulder
Uh-huh.
part coming out.
All right.
Oh, we got that one, by golly. All right. All right, finally. Johnny's mojo's back. Look at that. Boy, he's got shoulders for a little guy. He's not that little, but he's littler than what you've been catching. But
He's
that,
a
look how
fatty. Look at that
tough he
belly.
is. Go ahead.
Good job.
All right. Josh let me throw in there on a spot.
Oh, come on.
Get over here. Do you see that? He's throwing up a crawdad. He's throwing up a crawdad. See the pincher?
Nice.
Throwing up a crawdad.
Shortened up your leader, too. And that
Yeah,
was
and I
the deal.
shortened up the leader. That's the deal. They're eating crawdads. And I can see right here in his mouth, you can't probably see it, the real orange in the back of his throat. I don't know if you can see that or not. But he's eating crawdads and they're orange.
Yep. Oh, man, just bright orange.
Bright orange. Okay, one thing I want to show you that'll really help you with your drop shot fishing is, you know, I just tied the Palomar knot, of course, on my line onto the hook. But one way to keep that hook to where it's going straight up and down is after you've tied the knot, go ahead and drop your line through the top of the hook eyelet okay? Your tag in, just bring it down through there before you hook your weight up. That way when you go to hook your line, or when you go to hook your weight up and everything and your worm's on there, see how the hook sits straight up and down like that? That's what you want. You want the hook to sit straight up and down. Something else we were just talking about, I like to go to like a, I use a #1 hook all the time pretty much for my drop shot fishing until I go to the bigger worms, like the 6 and 7 inch. That's when I'll go to the little 1/0 hook, just the one step up from there. Get a little bit better bite on it and stuff, but that's pretty much what I like to do. We had a great time on the show today with Josh Bertrand. Stay tuned next week. We'll have him back as we have a lot more footage and a lot more information to get out to you. Thanks for joining us on the show. I'm Johnny Johnson.
Before.
You suck, dude.
Dude, you're gonna give it back to me someday so bad, dude. It's
Oh, Josh, you were on it, dude.
I'm trying to appreciate it because it might be the only time.
You better appreciate it. That's what I'm talking about.